The Sonic Cinematic Universe is quickly expanding thanks to the success of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 earning $492 million and Sonic the Hedgehog 4 scheduled to release in March 2027. For almost a year there have been tons of rumors talking about Shadow the Hedgehog getting some type of spin-off. Now it seems that Paramount plans several spin-off movies, so it seems very likely that they will soon announce a Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off movie. Shadow has quickly become one of the most popular characters in the Sonic Cinematic Universe thanks in part to Keanu Reeves' excellent voice acting along with Shadow's lore-heavy backstory, which begs the question of how would a Shadow the Hedgehog movie actually work, what characters would be in it, and most of all, what would the story actually be? When thinking about the potential story, there are 4 Sonic games that Shadow is really front and centered within, being Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, the Shadow spin-off game, and Sonic 2006. In Sonic Adventure 2, we learn of Shadow's backstory where he gets created by Gerald Robotnik. Shadow befriends Maria, but then GUN storms the Space Colony Ark, kills Maria, and frees Shadow for 50 years, only for him to wake up and want to take revenge for GUN killing Maria. Shadow feels very angry and wants to fight anyone in his way, however he ultimately gets convinced to switch sides and sacrifices himself to stop the Space Colony Ark from crashing and saving the world. In Sonic Heroes, Shadow's story gets reworked a bit due to him having amnesia and getting awakened by Rouge the Bat. In this game, Shadow learns the importance of teamwork due to being a member of Team Dark. Shadow efficiently works very well with both Rouge and Omega. He is still very powerful and skilled and seems less concerned with his past and more focused on the task at hand. In the Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off game, Shadow also has amnesia and struggles to figure out who he is and where he came from. We learn more of Shadow's backstory where he was created through the use of Black Doom's DNA, and Shadow gets manipulated very easy and is tricked into helping Black Doom collect the Chaos Emeralds in an attempt to destroy the world. And in Sonic 2006, Shadow is depicted as working with GUN, having seemingly moved past his conflicts with them. He is more of a serious character and has a stronger sense of duty and responsibility. And he still has a rivalry with Sonic, but those interactions are less emotionally charged when compared to previous games. I believe the Shadow the Hedgehog movie needs to largely focus on being the Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off game, but as a movie. It also needs to take some concepts from Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, and Sonic 2006, such as Shadow having amnesia, learning about his past, getting over his past, figuring out how to control his powers for good, and teaming up with GUN and Team Dark to defeat a bigger threat. The Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off movie could devolve into Shadow's past and his connection to the alien race known as the Black Arms, with Sonic the Hedgehog 3 hinting at Shadow's alien origin by depicting his crash landing on Earth via an asteroid in Oklahoma. The movie could explore his home planet and why he was sent to Earth in the first place. The Black Arms, potentially led by Black Doom, could be the main antagonist invading Earth to utilize or destroy it. The Shadow spin-off game starts off with Shadow having amnesia and unable to remember anything, so Shadow in the spin-off movie should also have amnesia and struggle to remember his past. This would allow for a deep dive into themes such as identity, purpose, and accepting the dark past. Shadow would have to confront his heritage and decide where his true loyalties are. He should be able to be easily manipulated by anyone, especially Black Doom, with ease. A Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off movie could be used to introduce the concept of multiple planets and aliens within the Sonic Cinematic Universe. Shadow's origins and the Black Doom's invasion of Earth could serve as a catalyst for exploring other worlds and species, setting the stage for future spin-offs or interactions with Team Sonic or other future characters. This approach would allow for themes of intergalactic conflict, the battle of good and evil in the universe, and potential for alliances against common threats. The spin-off could focus more on Shadow's internal conflict and his struggle to reconcile his past actions with his desire to protect the world. It could explore his lingering guilt over Maria's death and an effort to honor her wish for peace. The story could have more character-driven, with Shadow facing inner demons and external threats, showcasing his transformation from a vengeful anti-hero to more complex, self-assured character. This could allow for a deeper exploration of themes such as grief, self-forgiveness, and finding meaning. Black Doom needs to be the main villain that Shadow must deal with. A Shadow spin-off movie could depict him walking up with no memories and being easily manipulated by Black Doom. This could lead Shadow down a dark path, performing increasingly malicious acts, which could show how evil he truly is inside. The shock of some type of major event potentially tied to the death of Maria and the movie's canon could trigger a change in Shadow's perspective, setting him on a more heroic path. If Shadow becomes a hero, maybe he could join GUN as a member of a newly formed Team Dark focusing on Black Ops missions, which would culminate with some type of attempt to take down Black Doom. This will provide a good opportunity to introduce characters like Rouge the Bat and E123 Omega. GUN could give them a mission to take down Black Doom at all costs. They will work for GUN, and GUN can provide them with some reinforcements. I would love to see a scene that is based on Sonic 2006's Shadow's opening scene, White Acropolis, where he has to find the whereabouts of Rouge. It would also be cool if Rouge has some type of undercover mission scene to steal something extremely important. And of course we need some scenes where Omega is beating up a bunch of members of the Black Arms Army. The storyline could also explore themes of forgiveness, acceptance, and finding one's place in the world. And Shadow needs to prove his loyalty to a world he once sought to destroy, which is likely to take him on a very complex and exciting character arc. So if I had to write the movie from start to finish, my story pitch would be at the end of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Shadow uses Chaos Control at the very last split second to escape the Space Coney-Arc explosion. In the spur of the moment, he teleported not to Earth but actually back to his home world, and the Chaos Emeralds scatter. Shadow has amnesia and can't remember anything because it took every bit of his strength to teleport there. As he is walking around, he finds one or two of the Chaos Emeralds and then comes across Black Doom, who says he can help him restore his memory if he can get the rest of the Chaos Emeralds for him. Shadow searches several planets to find the 7 Chaos Emeralds, and as he finds them, he starts to regain his memory. Once Black Doom has all 7 Chaos Emeralds, he launches a surprise attack on Earth due to the Black Comet passing by there. At first, Shadow helps Black Doom as they are trying to take over Earth. However, when Shadow returns to Earth and arrives in Westopolis, he remembers something about Maria and tries to stop the Black Doom but is unable to do so. That's when he finds E123 Omega, who is blasting some monsters with his machine guns. Omega sees Shadow's potential for good, and Shadow requests to become a GUN agent. Commander Walters agrees on one condition: that Shadow must go to White Acropolis to search for and find their missing GUN agent Rouge. Once Shadow rescues Rouge, the three of them team up to form Team Dark, which works for GUN. Together, the three of them hatch a plan to steal back Black Doom's Chaos Emeralds, and eventually Shadow gets all 7 Chaos Emeralds, and the climax of the movie features Super Shadow fighting and ultimately defeating Devil Doom. I hope that Shadow gets to use guns and he says, "Where's that damn 4th Chaos Emerald?" Much like the Knuckles show, I think the Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off movie needs at least a small cameo by Sonic the Hedgehog. He needs to be in the movie for at least a few scenes so that it feels like Sonic has a presence there. In the Shadow spin-off game, Sonic and his friends get captured by Black Doom, so maybe something like that could happen, which will require Shadow and Team Dark to rescue them. In terms of when it will release, Sonic the Hedgehog 4 releases in March 2027, so I think the Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off movie will be in November 2028, followed by Sonic the Hedgehog 5 in October 2030. The overall budget will be less than the Sonic movies, but with Jeff Fowler directing, I think it has a lot of story potential. Shadow's voice actor Keanu Reeves will certainly do a great job. Shadow the Hedgehog is extremely popular, so if this movie has a good story, I think it will be very successful. That's gonna do it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and remember, you gotta go fast.